Alright, boys, we're back in the video, and today we're talking about why Kevin Porter Jr. is the cornerstone for the Houston Rockets and his future moving on with them moving forward. So, what's up? My name is Jae'sean. If you guys like the video, drop a comment below, press the subscribe button, and let's get into the video. So, today we're talking about Kevin Porter Jr. and why he's the cornerstone of this franchise, because honestly, I feel like he's our best player when it comes into the future, alongside obviously Christian Wood. But those two are definitely our cornerstones of the franchise, but obviously Kevin Porter Jr. a little bit more because A, he's younger, and B, I just see more potential in Kevin Porter Jr. becoming that guy in Houston than Christian Wood. So today we're talking about Kevin Porter Jr. and his future moving on with Houston Rockets. So over the season, he's been averaging 16.6 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists, which is absolutely ridiculous. 6 assists, man. He's pretty underrated as a playmaker, man. A lot of really good plays this season. I mean, I remember this one game where he was facing the Utah Jazz when we still had Justin Patton, man. It was absolutely amazing. Went left on the baseline and then did a spin move. Passed it to Justin Patton for the dunk, man. So just has a really good playmaking game, really underrated playmaking game. Now, in terms of shooting the ball, I mean, 43% from the field and basically 31% from 3, which is a drop off from last year. He shot 34% from 3 last year, and it shot 44% from the field. So really horrible shooting splits from Kevin Porter Jr. Definitely off year from last year, but we gotta cut him some slack. He started in this. He's basically a starter now. He didn't start last year, so didn't really get too many minutes. I mean, last year averaged 23 minutes. This year averaging 32 minutes. So really. No, I'm not really too worried about his shooting splits. He can definitely get them up there. Has a lot of room to grow. Has a lot of upside. Only 21 years old. Just absolutely amazing. I mean, this year alone, he played 26 minutes. No, not 26 minutes. 26 games. And last year in Cleveland, played 50 games. So, it's absolutely amazing how he got a first-round pick for a second-round pick, man. I mean, obviously, we know that trade happened in, I want to say, early January or like mid-January, where he got traded for a second-round pick to the Houston Rockets. And the Houston Rockets gave up a protected second-round pick that's projected to go 55th, I think, or top 55, something like that. I don't know. Absolutely ridiculous, man. It's the 30th overall pick in the 2019 draft. Absolutely amazing. Kevin Porter Jr. His game, I know everyone says this, but his game reminds me so much of James Harden, man. Especially in that 15-10 game. He's just like, his game, like, it's so shifty, man. Like, he has a lot of moves in his bag, He has a lot of moves he can do. He basically perfected that step back 3, man, and that's what I like. I mean, he took a lot of those in that 15-10 game, which is really good to see. He's starting to get really comfortable shooting the ball too, which is something I like to see. But his shooting splits need to be higher. I mean, even on the free throw line, he's only 74% from the free throw line. He's just not a really good free throw percent shooter, so something he needs to fix. And it's overall his shooting needs to be fixed too. But other than that, his other weakness is his turnover ratio, averaging 4 turnovers a game, which is ridiculous, man. 4 turnovers a game is absolutely unacceptable. But he still has a lot of room to grow, like I said. And then, like, compared to last year, man, he only had 2 turnovers per game. But obviously, he didn't have many minutes last year, only averaging 23, whereas this year 32. So yeah, makes sense. So Kevin Porter Jr., man, I don't know, he's just the cornerstone of the franchise, man. I mean, he has a lot of room to grow. I see a lot of clips on Instagram and a lot of basically clips on his Instagram where he's just working out with a lot of traders, man. He's putting in the work. He wants to get better. So it's definitely good to see he has that mentality, man. Because back when he was in Cleveland, man, he just wasn't in a good place. I mean, he got arrested. I want to say for one thing, I forgot what it was, but he got in that altercation with Taurean Prince and the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. So definitely good to see that he got traded to the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets helped him get his mind back where it is and helped him get back on basketball. And the thing I like about the Houston Rockets is they also sent him down to the G League to get his mindset back on basketball. Really helped him with confidence, man. It was a really good move, man. Same thing with KJ Martin. I mean, they sent him down there too, and brought up Armani Brooks. It's like this franchise was really good for Kevin Porter Jr. and it quite honestly saved his mindset and his future, because he really does have a future in this league, man. He could become honestly an all-star in this league. Like, I keep saying this, but Kevin Porter Jr. can absolutely become an all-star in this league, man. It's pretty apparent. Youngest 15-10 player in the league. Absolutely amazing. I mean, like, there's not much to say about him because honestly, like, he's showing everyone that what he can do and honestly what he can show and what he can prove to everyone else in the future. So honestly, like, I'm pretty excited for the Houston Rockets future, because if we get this top 4 pick, pair him alongside Cade Cunningham, Kevin Porter Jr., Jae'Sean Tate, KJ Martin, Christian Wood, like, that's honestly a really solid, really great young core for the future. Honestly, a championship contending team if everyone can develop really nicely. I mean, KJ Martin, someone that can block shots at the rim. Jae'sean, really solid all-around player. Christian Wood, someone that could basically give you 20 and 10 a season. KPJ, someone that can give you a really high scoring output and someone that can basically play make for the whole team. And Kid Cunningham just running the offense, being that floor general that they need. So honestly, man, I'm really excited for this Houston Rockets future, man. And honestly, I'm really excited for what Kevin Porter Jr. has to prove to everyone else, man, because he is definitely one of the youngest stars, one of the best youngest stars in this league, man. I know it's a stretch, but definitely one of the best youngest stars in the league. So that's my take on Kevin Porter Jr. on being the cornerstone for the Houston Rockets, and honestly, I'm excited for his future. So that's the interview. If you guys get the video, drop it down below, press subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.